Dave.
I'm Matthew, and this behind us is the MG ZS, but not the EV because you've seen that already. This is the ZST.
That's right, ZST, and if you add an E, you get zest, which is exactly what it is, a zest for style and a zest for life. Come, let's take a look at this. Okay, so MG now has got quite a range. They've got the really small ones that start off around about the 20 grand, and then this one that goes up to the 33 grand. I think there's a HS above this as well, so quite a range now coming out. This is the petrol version, and it's very, very cool. You'll notice that there's not that much difference in size and shape, but what it does come with is a few different, I don't know, tinges and hints and accents that really make it just that little bit different. So up front on the grille, this has got what's known as high gloss, or I think they call it exclusive MG stuff. So high gloss accents around the grille, also around by the fog lights here. These headlights here, they've got LED headlights and also LED DRLs, so quite a lot going on here, which really gives the whole face a big smile, big smiley face. Very cool. Round the side, the profile is actually quite big and bold for such a small or mid-sized crossover, but differences around here again with the black accents. So here, high gloss here, and also down by the sills. The feet are 17-inch, they're called tomahawks, nice shape to them, and also some red brake calipers. Speaking of red, this actual colour here is called diamond red. Now to me, my understanding is diamonds are white, but you know, what do I know? And actually, funnily enough, their white version is called York white, and I've been to York and it was pretty grey. See if you can make sense of that. Anyway, looking further down, this is also obviously its better side because it comes with a trophy badge. The trophy badge really relates back to the Isle of Man trophies that they did from an MG point of view back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s or something. Anyway, it's only on this side. Don't ask me why, again, I don't know. Nice peeking back here with this little tiny bit of glass here, which is just helps when you're inside for that little bit of vision. Anyway, round the rear, what can I say? Big and bold again. There's a roofline spoiler, LED tail lights. These come with 8 individual LED lights. I'll see if I can show you that at night. Nice lower valance down here, or rear diffuser that's got, again, with that high gloss black, and also some high gloss black here. This, again, we already know where this comes from, to gain access to the rear here, which gives you 359 litres of multi-leveled boot space. Enough for plenty, actually. Let's take a look under the bonnet. A 1.3 litre 3-cylinder engine. These are so cool. That produces a very efficient 115 kilowatts, 230 newton meters of torque, and also being that 3-cylinder does give it that off-kilter note that actually, when you put your foot down, does give it a lot more oomph than you thought, you know, certainly in sound, than a normal straight 4-cylinder. So pretty cool. But much of the cool stuff is inside, and I don't just mean Matthew. Let's go and take a look inside there.
Once you're in this cabin, you'll realize that that cool factor isn't just on the outside as Dave showed you. It's very much so on the inside here, and I guess that the T or the trophy badge adds to that sort of factor, because if you look through the interior here, there's lots of red stitching all over the place. There's lots of fake carbon fiber around, and it actually, you know, you can mock it or whatever, but it gives a really nice sort of texture, and not just for your eyes, but even when you touch it, it just breaks up the aluminium colored plastic and the black plastic. It's just a really nice balance of textures there, and that's sort of really the ethos behind this MG's cabin, because you've got at the top, you've got your soft black plastic, and to break it up, you've got this sort of metallic looking plastic as well, and the air vents finished in gloss plastic, or exclusively finished, as MG like to call it. Then you've got, of course, this fake carbon fiber trim, bit of red stitching, and then you go on to some more black plastic. So there's a nice balance of textures and colors there. It's really good looking, actually. And if you look at the seats, same sort of story there. You get this leather look material, and it's finished in a bit of fake carbon fiber with some red stitching, but the best part about it is that these headrests, just look at that MG, the red MG badge and the stitching on there. It looks like it's from a much more premium car. Speaking of things that look like they're from a more premium car, you've got this whole center console here. This infotainment screen now is big, bold, and lots of colors on it. You've got all these buttons down the middle here which control the infotainment screen, and they've got a nice aluminium finish to them. The phone holder in the middle here easily holds one of the biggest phones in the market, and it's also got 2 USB chargers and a cigarette lighter, so you got 3 different options. The gear stick in the middle here has an MG badge embossed into it, another nice touch. Remember that MG is still, I wouldn't say an unrecognized brand, but since they've been reborn, people still aren't sure where they are and what they stand for. So it's important for these MG badges to feature all around the cabin there. You've got some more red stitching, some more fake carbon fiber, and this pretty interesting cup holder. Now, I say interesting cup holder, I'm not a boring person, at least I wouldn't say, but it's because you can have 1 coffee cup in there easily, but if you're traveling with 2 people, you can't actually fit a second one in there. So when you are on a road trip, you'll have to alternate coffees between your 2 passengers. You also get space for another phone in the middle here, or for your cool looking MG key with, notice the red trim on it as well to complement the car, and of course the red stitching, and some more storage underneath the armrest right here. So when you're sitting in the driver's seat and you look straight ahead of you, you'll notice that this all new digital instrument cluster is sort of very, I guess, very cool almost. And the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge on the side, the bars in there almost represent the bars and the LED tail lights on the back, which is kind of a nifty little touch. And when you rev the car, you'll actually see that the rev counter bars go up, almost like a vintage video game. Frankly, it's very, very cool if you like. The car in the middle on the screen there is not actually in the same color car that you have. It's in white, and it sort of gives you entrance into the MG Pilot safety system, which includes obviously lane departure warning and adaptive cruise control, all that sort of stuff. And if you flick through this button on the side here, you can go through the various notifications, the car, you can configure the locks, the lights, the doors, all that sort of stuff. So it's very simple, very easy to use, and frankly much like the infotainment screen in the middle. Now, this infotainment screen in the middle is a very colorful character, much like Dave actually, and you'll notice that it's very easy to use, very simply laid out. You've got your audio on the left, your navigation in the middle, and the AC controls on the right. Remember that this screen also does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, really good features at this price. And another really noteworthy thing is that if you go into car, you can actually turn off all the safety systems, something that you don't really see in many modern cars these days. It'll just allow you to take complete manual control of it. And another sort of noteworthy feature of this car is that when you press the 360-degree button, you'll notice firstly that the screen is a little bit slow, but again, you know, it's a really affordable SUV, so there are certain quirks like that that you should come to expect. Once you are in this 360-degree view, you'll just notice that the cameras are around. So you've got your rear one, obviously, you've got ones under the middle, and what you can do is you can shift around the cameras just like that, and then when you go into 3D, you can actually see an almost satellite image of your car in its surroundings based on all the cameras feeding through. And look at this. Just like that, you can look around the various different sides of your car, and even though it's slow, it still works really well and gives you a good idea of where your car is at in regards to its surroundings. That this is a turbocharged MG ZST and it is a trophy model, so let's take it for a drive and see if all that red stitching and all that fake carbon and gloss plastic translates to the driving feel.
So the MG ZST trophy and other things that end in E, or have an E in them, This is actually a really good mid-sized, very, very price competitive vehicle. I mean, it drives well, it feels comfortable, and like I said, is priced really well. I really love the way it's all put together.
And I think that's really when MG's brand has been reborn. That's sort of the market they're going for, almost, as being really competitive on the price. And I think they've succeeded with this car. You know, for the price that you pay, the kind of stuff that you get is really, really mind-boggling, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, these new screens, the digital instrument cluster is awesome. I really like the fact of when you put your foot down, both the outside and the digital screen side things come up. It's really cool, rather than the normal just 0 to 200 drab size. This is actually quite interactive, almost PlayStation size, although we can't say PlayStation, play game size. This central screen is good. It's still a little bit behind in speed wise, but actually not bad. And I really like the 360-degree camera. Great if you're stuck in very tight spots, like in, I don't know, underground car parks or stuff like that, where there's more expensive cars sitting around.
There's almost retro video game style aspects going on here. Dave just pointed out that there's the bars on the rev counter and the speed, which actually the bars look like the bars on the LED taillights on the back. And of course the graphics of the 360-degree camera, again, a little bit not as good as some that we've seen from other cars, but then again, no one can really match this price that you're paying for the ZST. And remember, this is the top spec model as well.
Yeah, a couple of things. Position wise, from a driver's point of view, comfy seats are really good, as we pointed out earlier, and also the embossed is really cool. I would have liked the steering wheel to extend or telescope. It does go up and down, but not to and from you, so you end up having quite outstretched arms, which is, you know, not ideal if you're going to go into any speedy types of turns or anything like that. Any racing driver will tell you that, and I'm no racing driver, admittedly. Everything else, I'm actually impressed. There's loads of visibility. Even that little bit right down the corner is very cool. Not bad. And the tech, like Matthew says, there's tons of it. There's cross traffic, rear cross traffic. There's adaptive cruise control. There's traffic or heavy traffic stuff, so it'll just max or it'll follow the car in front and around in heavy traffic automatically, which is cool. There's blind spot on both mirrors. There's actually tons of it. Really is a lot going on for relatively peanuts.
Absolutely. And you do, of course, if you're wondering why there's so much of light in the cabin here and why our faces are so bright, that big stargazing roof is exactly why. And
oh look, there's a star.
You've got to say, on a day like today, it lets plenty of light in and plenty of sun inside. And the starry nights we have in Auckland, well, just perfect, frankly.
And it's actually quite roomy. If you look, there's actually quite a lot of space between the two of us, just how I like it. But there's actually, it's a good 4.5 seater.
And, you know, again, MG sort of aiming for that family practicality. So at the back, the doors open pretty wide, and you do get, you know, fairly easy access to the ISOFIX points, which are, of course, important for people with little children.
Yeah, I like the tactility of the whole thing. The steering wheel's good. It's got nice touch feel. The dashboard's kind of soft and, you know, quite bouncy, which is quite good. There's soft rubber on the top. It's actually really well put together, and I'm impressed with it, actually. I haven't had to lift the bonnet once, apart from to show you the engine. So from an MG point of view, it's a definite improvement.
They've certainly improved on those kind of things. And then another improvement here is if you look at the passenger side, even though the infotainment screen and stuff is tilted a little bit towards the driver, it's still more than enough for you on this side to kind of, you know, get your fingers in there and choose the radio station and adjust the aircon and stuff like that. All things you want to do as a passenger. So there you have it, the MG ZST.
zesty and full of spirit and full of tech actually. Love the screens, love the digital interactiveness, and really enjoyed the 360-degree camera. I can see myself from all different angles. How cool is that?
It's, in that sense, the MG is very much has got a playful sort of soul to it, and that's, you know, it's a cool character to have for a car in the modern day. It's got its own quirks and everything, so it's a proper MG in that sense.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe because you never know what we're going to be up to next.
As always, we'll see you next time, and who knows what we'll be in.
See ya.